All right, everybody, welcome back. We are jumping into a deep dive today, and this one is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
It's the potential U.S. ban on TikTok.
It's a big one.
Yeah, and this is more than just like a tech story. This is like this is impacting popular culture and like millions of users.
Absolutely.
And there's some serious national security questions too.
Yeah, the stakes are really high with this one.
Yeah, and we've got a ton of different sources here.
From all over the place.
Yeah, and they're saying a lot of different things, so this is going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, definitely. So, where should we even begin with this one?
Well, I think the biggest thing that everyone's talking about is the national security concern, right?
Yeah, right. That's the core of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
This bipartisan concern that the Chinese government could get its hands on user data.
Whoa.
Or even, manipulate what people are seeing on TikTok.
Like, can you imagine that, like, a foreign government just, like, looking at everyone's videos and messages?
I mean, that's like 170 million Americans on TikTok.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, and Congress is taking this seriously. I mean, they actually passed a law to try and block TikTok.
Really?
Yeah, and it had support from both Democrats and Republicans.
Oh, wow. So this isn't just like a partisan thing.
No, not at all. And even the Biden administration is involved. They're pushing to enforce this law.
So what does this law actually do? Like, does it just like shut down TikTok?
It's a bit more complicated than that.
Oh.
It basically tries to force TikTok to be sold to a U.S. company.
So it's like they're saying, hey, TikTok, you can stay, but only if you're American owned.
Exactly. It's kind of like Congress built this legal wall to block TikTok unless it gets a new owner.
That's pretty intense.
Yeah. And there's a deadline, too, 270 days to make this sale happen.
Oh, wow. So that's coming up fast.
Yeah, it could even be as soon as this Sunday.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
And the consequences for not following this law are huge.
Like, what are we talking about?
Well, the law doesn't actually target TikTok directly. It goes after the companies that distribute it.
So like Apple and Google?
Yeah, those are the big ones, and they could face massive fines.
How massive are we talking?
Up to $5,000 per user.
Well, wait. So with the 170 million users, that's like...
A staggering amount. It could be billions of dollars.
Oh, that's insane.
And that's just the beginning. We have to think about the ripple effects, too.
Yeah, like what would happen to all the people who use TikTok?
Exactly. I mean, think about all the influencers and small businesses that rely on the platform.
And what about all the trends and challenges and dances that start on TikTok?
Right. It's become a part of our culture, and a ban could really shake things up.
It's like a whole ecosystem that could be disrupted.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've got this law forcing a sale, but then there's also this talk about former President Trump maybe using an executive order to keep TikTok running.
Right. It's another layer of complexity to this whole situation.
Yeah, like could an executive order even overrule a law passed by Congress?
Well, legally speaking, it's a long shot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, an executive order can't just erase a law like that.
So what would happen?
It would probably lead to a bunch of legal battles and just create more uncertainty.
So it's like a power struggle between different parts of the government.
Exactly, and it's all playing out in this digital arena.
Wow, this is getting messy.
It really is.
Okay, so let's say we get past all that and a U.S. company actually wants to buy TikTok. Are there still hurdles to overcome?
Oh, absolutely. There's a big one, actually.
Okay, I'm listening.
It's the algorithm, the secret sauce that makes TikTok so addictive and successful.
Ah, I see.
That algorithm is incredibly valuable, and China has hinted that they might not let it be exported.
Really?
Yeah. So imagine trying to buy a car, but they won't give you the engine.
It just wouldn't work.
Exactly. And that's the dilemma here. Congress wants a sale, but the sale itself might be impossible.
So we've got this law, this potential executive order, and then this whole algorithm problem.
It's a tangled web, for sure.
Yeah, it really is.
And in the middle of all of this, we have to remember the millions of people who use and love TikTok.
Yeah, like what about all the creators who rely on this platform to make a living?
Exactly. For some of them, TikTok is their entire career.
And a ban could really hurt them.
Absolutely. And it could also affect the content that we all enjoy watching.
Yeah, it's like our feeds would suddenly be a lot different.
Right. And we can't forget about the small businesses that use TikTok for marketing.
Yeah, they've invested time and money into building a presence on the platform.
And a ban could really disrupt their strategies.
This is a lot to think about.
It really is. This whole situation forces us to confront some tough questions about national security and individual freedom.
Yeah, like, is protecting data from a foreign government worth limiting what people can see and share online?
And who gets to decide where that line is drawn?
These are big questions with no easy answers.
Exactly. And they're questions that we're going to have to grapple with more and more as technology keeps evolving.
Wow. This has been a wild deep dive.
It has been a lot to unpack.
Yeah, and it seems like the story is far from over.
Definitely the choices that are made in the coming days could have a huge impact on all of us.
Well, thanks for breaking it all down for us. This has been really insightful.
You're welcome. Glad we could shed some light on this complicated issue.
And to all of you listening, thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Make sure to stay tuned because this story is definitely going to keep developing.
Absolutely. There's sure to be more twists and turns ahead.
All right, we'll see you next time for another deep dive.
See you then.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.